Good afternoon, everyone. And I'd like to welcome everybody to the March meeting of the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation. And we'll get the meeting started off. It's our custom to start off with a prayer and a pledge. And I'll ask Dr. Bonner to lead us, please.
Thank you. Thank you. May we bow, please. Our Father, who is our great Creator, the one who made heaven and earth, and knows how to make everything work together for the good. Father, we thank you for your loving touch throughout our great community. And we ask a special blessing over the Gilbert family, Dr. Linda Gilbert's family, for comfort and strength. We know that your touch has the ability to restore, and we appreciate that your schedule is never too full, as your will is always accurate for us, because you are always wise and gentle, and your results are amazing. We ask your continued blessings to guide, guard, and protect this community. And we thank you for the leadership present on our commission. These and other blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Could we stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner.
Come.
And we'll get this started off. Laney, we've got some new business, and it looks like first item is the consideration of the approval of the soccer agreement.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair and members of the commission. Mr. Laird is here, and he's going to present that for us.
Hey, Thomas.
For you is the use agreement that we brought last month for the use of the Harpeth Youth Soccer Association, identified teams to practice and to play here in Murfreesboro. The commission had asked us to go back and get some more information on those teams and to verify that they were made up of Murfreesboro residents. We got clarification that the three teams that would be here, of those teams, one of them has 13 girls that are from Murfreesboro. They're Murfreesboro citizens. One girl from Manchester. Another one of those teams has 13 girls as well, and two other girls that are outside of Murfreesboro. And then there's a U16 team, which is older girls, and all but four of those girls are Murfreesboro citizens. So I think it's a pretty big number of kids that are Murfreesboro residents or county residents, and I think most of them, if they're not, they're outlying areas such as Manchester.
Any other questions for Thomas?
One of the things we want to point out that the commission had requested is, I know that they had questioned making this agreement with the Harpeth Youth Soccer Association. What we did in the beginning of this agreement is we went in and said that it would be with that association. We need to do that in terms of liability purposes because they are the entity that holds the liability insurance. But we named those teams specifically, so it's only for those three teams within that association. And I think that was the request of the commission.
I think that was our intent.
Just to clarify, they will practice at the McKnight Park on Field 8, and then they will play matches at Siegel Park and follow the same guidelines as the MSC select teams.
And I think that's a good move on our committee to approve this, because in my research I found out just 3 young ladies out of all the kids playing, only 3 are not from Rutherford County.
Correct.
And want to think, I mean, for further information, a Murfreesboro striker team, an MSC select team, could very well have players just as easily from out of Rutherford County, but the majority would be local, and this sounds like the majority on every one of these teams is Murfreesboro teams. Would these games be again on fields 8 and 9, or are they anticipating being
They'll
scheduled
be incorporated into the MSC, the Siegel fields based on playability, the turf conditions. We'll use the same exact same process to determine fields as we do with all our leagues. And we host a lot of state league games at Siegel Park, and we have since the park opened. For example, in March, we have a team from Memphis coming to play teams from Knoxville, and those are games that the state requires them to play, so we're kind of a good neutral ground. All of those matches are handled the very same way that these matches would be handled.
Very good. Do I have a motion to approve this soccer agreement?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thomas.
Eddie, one thing we may have jumped over here, the minutes for the last meeting.
I realize that's our next item. Just circle back around. Yeah, at this time, if you'll look at your packet, and the minutes are in there from the last meeting, and if you'll review those, and if there are no changes, I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
If there are no changes, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Minutes pass. Motion passes. All right. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, Landy, you're going to tell us about the proposed soccer practice
Yes,
sites.
sir. We brought this to the commission before, and we presented it to the council, and we're trying to move this forward. That would be creating a practice area at the Jordan Farm. And if we could pull up the rendering on the TV for that. There we go. And in your packet as well, what you see is an area, it's approximately about 30 acres of the Jordan Farm. That's a 200-acre farm. And what we've done is we've gone through and created 6 full-size soccer fields and 1 half soccer field, along with gravel parking. One of the things that we heard from the soccer community when we were engaging them in this proposal was that the most important part was the condition of the turf and the playing surface. So with this, we would be grading the site. The architect and engineering firm figured in about a foot of cut and fill through here. We'd be topsoiling the playing areas, and then sprigging. We plan to use the reprocessed water that's on the site to irrigate with. And I included a price proposal. The cost estimate from our architectural engineering firm, $879,513 for the facility. And we would like to recommend that we move forward with this and start with the architectural engineering. Architectural engineering is going to run about 5%. It's a little over $46,000 for that. Based on the timeline and the time schedule, if we move forward, probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll be taking this onto the Water and Sewer Board for their consideration, and then on to City Council after that for consideration. If we can get started somewhere around the end of March, 1st of April, then that puts us bidding in May. Construction would be during the summer, and hopefully we would have a fall opening of this facility. Mm-hmm. So our recommendation is that we move the project forward, allow us to engage with Water and Sewer, take it on to City Council for beginning the A&E for this project.
Okay. Questions? Comments?
Do you have an estimation of where I saw 6 lights are listed on down. Do you have an idea where those would be located as far as how much use these would get, practice fields at night?
What our proposal is not to light them at first. I know that lighting is a breakout price, and I think it adds an additional $885,000 for the lighting. Our proposal is just to move forward with the basic structure.
Just the phase one portion.
Phase one portion, which will get that basic infrastructure in place, get us the fields, and then as we move forward, if we see that we need to light them, that they're going to have more permanency in the future, long term, that may be something that the commission would want to consider. So at this time, we're not recommending lighting.
Any other questions?
Lanny, with is everything below the future comment, is that all just proposed for future development? Is that what we're saying? I mean, the trails, the lighting,
It is. We asked the architectural engineering firm to give us a full breakout. And of course, if that's the wishes of the commission and the council, we can move forward with the lighting. We just felt like that in this first phase, it would probably be better to undertake the first phase, see how it goes the first year, and then if we need to move into the second phase or the future phases of putting permanent restrooms, permanent lighting, etc., then we can move forward at that point.
And Mr. Goodwin, on the practice fields, when soccer teams or whoever use those fields, is there a fee to practice on those fields, or is it just open, or how do you?
For MSC, we have not charged for practice. For leagues that are not recognized by this commission, much like the Harpeth League that we just approved, there would be a fee. And for others, we have the YMCA, we have a Hispanic League. There are several groups that use different areas that we have soccer and baseball, football as well, where we charge a fee for those.
With these fields in mind, is there a thought process on what happens to the main complex usage, practice usage guidelines?
Mr. Charlie, as we all know, our community's growing. 2035, they're projecting that we'll be 200,000 or plus, grow 100,000 over the next 20 years. I know when we first moved from the 7 fields at McKnight to the Siegel Soccer Complex, it seemed like we just had an abundance of room and everything. Now the soccer league has grown. There's more need for more games. There's going to be more outgrowth of different requests. So the more that you can take practice off that facility, more that you can put games on there. So we'll play that one as we need to for growth. Our plan right now, of course, with MSC is we're allowing them to use the upper fields in the youth complex for practice this spring. We're going to evaluate that. Hopefully, come fall, we'll be able to look at the rest of the complex. So, and we're still looking at the balance, how much play, how much practice. And what we're really getting down to is not really equating games and practices, how much time can each field accommodate in terms of kids or play on that particular turf. So with our new turf manager, he's looking at that. He's really focusing in more on, can it take 3 hours, can it take 2 hours, can it take 4 hours? So whether that's games or play, that's what we're looking at in the future. Does that help?
It does.
Okay.
Lanny, on all the figures that you've given us here, it's hard for me to question anything like storm drain development or electrical service or mulch trail. But the price for the goals, $5,000 per goal for 12 goals. I've never bought a goal before. Is $5,000, is that a pretty standard price for a soccer goal? I mean, it just sounds like a lot of money to me.
Well, it is. Time you buy the nets and so forth. Now, we may be able to get goals for less, and we'll look at that. As we go through the engineering, it may be something that we want to buy. Sometimes, Mr. Smotherman, we'll take things, we had them to put it in the estimate so we'd know, but sometimes we'll pull the equipment out, and it's better for us to purchase it because we don't have to pay the overhead from the contractor at that point. So that may be something that we'll pull out. We do that routinely.
Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve the architectural engineering phase of the new practice site for soccer?
I move approval for the proposed soccer practice
Thank you,
site.
Dr. Bonner. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. That's awesome, Lanny.
Thank you.
We need the fields, so that's looks like a great plan. Bart, looks like the sports comm is kind of closed up the other day.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'm here today just to give you an update of our progress going on at SportsCom. We did close the facility last Sunday, and before then we did have our construction crew in there doing a little work on the outside of the concession, also adding the weight room. But now that the facility is closed, it's a beehive of activity, and they've cleared out, gutted out, and couple of good things. The best thing is we're having the place renovated. Another good thing is as you clean out your closet or your house, you notice a lot of things that can be discarded. So we are cleaning out SportsCom. It's probably been there since '87 when it opened. So we're cleaning it up, getting in shape for our reopening, hopefully in May, Monday, May the 4th. So that's when we're planning on reopening. I do have a couple of slides. Jim Davis comes out and takes pictures from time to time. I have about 10 slides just to kind of keep you updated on what's going on. The first one there is, of course, that's our new weight room. It's been added. Of course, an outside look at it, but you can't tell much about it. They're starting to get the block on now. Of course, they're held up with the weather today, of course, but they're starting to get it added on, and hopefully we'll have that enclosed here shortly. There's also the weight room there where it'll be there's a window, some windows that'll be there, and also the supply door where we can get equipment in and out. And once that's enclosed, they can get inside there and keep working on it and get that finished. There's another picture of our weight room with the roof on. Like I said, on the other side, some more windows. So once they get in there and get it done, we can get in there and get our weight equipment moved from upstairs. There's another view from inside the old top watch room looking out where they do have the roof on. Another view there looking into our old top watch room there at the very back. And it's going to be a great addition to the facility. There's our old top watch room, which will now be the entrance into the weight room, so and a sitting area and an electrical room. There they are putting on the roof to the entrance to SportsCom, which will be a great addition. Of course, we have bad weather. People can pull up front there and let them out. And they will have an overhang, which they can get out of the rain, sleet, or snow and come on into the building. There's the old top watch room, just demoing that. There's our concession stand from the outside looking in. It's going to be a great addition. We're going to add another full-service window and another entrance, which will help out getting the crowd into Burrow Beach when the summer hits. There's the inside there where they've gutted out and we're taking a wall out, giving us plenty of room to put our supplies and all our fountain drink material. And I believe that's about it I know I went through that pretty fast, but Jim came out late yesterday afternoon and took some more pictures, and I can have those the next meeting whenever Mr. Gooden wants me to present those. We're very excited about it. A couple of questions I've had what are you doing with your employees during this time? And I've worked with Tom Sage and, of course, Thomas and Rachel Singer at the Wilderness Station. We've placed our employees around where they needed some help to help out with our summer season and spring seasons kicking up with our camp registration and everything, and they're needing some help. So we've worked it out with them to try to add those to our other facilities across town, which will really help out, with the public. And also about our part-time employees also, which we had 9 at SportsCom, which averaged probably 12 to 15 hours a week, but we've also placed them at different places during the night and on weekends where most of those are college students where they can help us out and also keep them working during this slack time at SportsCom. And at SportsCom now, I'll be there every day. We do have our maintenance worker there, Shane Gannon, who's our maintenance foreman, will be there, and also one custodian. And I know yesterday they started at 6 and left at 7, so they have, working very hard on it. It looks like a mess right now, and I'm sure it'll come to fruition here, hopefully, the 1st of May. So we're very excited about it. Appreciate your support, and we have also had moved some classes over to Patterson to combine some classes there, and also are moving some to McFadden, and the public can keep up with those on Facebook or our website, or you can call either facility. We can let you know what times those will be. But we've tried to keep those going as much as possible and not inconvenience the other facilities. So, like I said, I'll keep you updated. We're very excited about it, and like I said, we're hoping to open in May.
Barton, I'm sorry I missed that day. Was it May the 4th?
Monday, May the 4th.
Okay. Thank you.
Can't get here soon enough for me. Have we seen a lot more participation or at Patterson?
We have.
Good.
Mm-hmm. I talked to Tom this morning just to find out how our Zuma classes were moved over there here, and they've been very accommodating, Thomas and Rachel and also Tom, about getting our classes over there and hopefully not inconvenience the public too much. But they had a big crowd of Zuma this morning. Some we can incorporate into the Patterson classes, so it'll also give them an opportunity to visit another facility, and see how it operates. And I've told our staff, wherever they are at these other facilities, they can pick up some new ideas, something we can do better to serve the public. So, and when they get back all full blast at SportsCom, we'll sit down, see where we can improve, and help on the stuff we do at SportsCom.
Very good. Any other questions for Bart? Thank you, Bart.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Okay, next, Becky. I'm sure you've got many things going on for us.
I do. Summer is quickly approaching, and our spring programs are in full swing. One of the things that we need to mention is that our summer camp registrations have begun. And some people can probably attest from last summer that many of them fill up. I believe we're close to several of our outdoor camps being filled up this week. So we want to urge people to go ahead and check out our program. It's listed on our website in InterRec Connection, and decide, do they want sports camp, cheer camp, Guard Start camp. We have all kinds of summer camp programs, and we urge them to sign up quickly. Then we have our St. Patrick's Day Getaway, which is Friday, March 13th. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. It's for ages 7 through 13, and it's at Patterson Park Pool. If you pre-register, it's $5. If they wait to the day of, it's $7. And they can just contact Carrie Clemens at Patterson if they have any questions. Then we have the yard sale at Cannonsburg Village. That's Saturday, March 28th. This is also a good way to get rid of those items that have been sitting around, as Bart was saying, they found at SportsCom. You can register now for a booth space at Cannonsburg, or you can just come that day, Saturday, March 28th, from 7 to noon to shop at Cannonsburg. Then we have our underwater egg hunt. That is also at Patterson Park. That is Saturday, March 28th, and it begins at 8 a.m.'s registration. The jump is at 9, and then they have free swim until 10. And they just, at the indoor pool there, they kind of find eggs that are either floating in the water or some are at the bottom of the pool. There's a ton of eggs for people to find. And that is for youth, and it's $3 a child. Then we have the Luau on the island. This is during spring break. It's on Thursday, April 12th from 1 to 2:30. It's at Gateway Island, and it's just a big luau party. We request that you register ahead of time. It is $10, and it is for ages 8 to 12. Then one of our very popular annual special events is the Citywide Easter egg hunt. That is Saturday, April 4th at 1 p.m. at the Richard Siegel Park. It is free, and it is for all ages. We have hunts for all age groups. They do break them down. We don't have teenagers running over 3-year-olds. So there are age-appropriate hunts, but it is for all ages, Saturday, April 4th at 1 p.m. at Siegel Soccer Park. And for all of our spring programs, the Rec Connection, which is March, April, and May, is available to be picked up at all our sites. You can go to our website at murfreesborotn.gov/parks or contact our office or check out one of our many Facebook pages.
Very
Any
good.
questions?
Any questions? Looks like we're busy. I do have a question. I saw something advertised for Cannonsburg, a music festival or one day, or am I thinking wrong? Did I see that we're adding on to something else that we're having there, where we're having some music in there?
I'm not sure if they're adding music to Pioneer Days.
That's what it
Okay.
was. I thought I saw something that looked a little different there.
It could be, and our Pioneer Days, I believe, it's April 25th. So I will definitely, at the next commission, I'll bring those details.
Yeah, okay. Very
So,
good.
possible.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any other new business, or Lanny, do you have any
I have some other
ending
business,
comments?
Mr. Chair, if I could. On your desk, I have put a letter from Weiser Consultants. It deals with the heating, ventilating, air conditioning for the 2 concession stands at Barfield Crescent Park. We have bid that recently. On March the 3rd, we opened bids. We had 1 bid. That was from Leland Incorporated out of Nashville, Tennessee. I know that Weiser did send out bids to all of the local HVAC contractors. It seems like everybody's busy right now. So we did get the 1 bid. Looking at the engineer's estimate, it is within the range that we felt was acceptable. This has been reviewed by our new purchasing agent, Althea Penzel, and she feels like everything is in order. The bid is for $66,400, and I'm recommending that we move forward with a bid for the HVAC for the 2 concession stands at Barfield Crescent ball fields for $66,400.
Any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I approve.
Thank you, Dr. Bonner. Is there a second?
Excuse me, second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Very good. Any other comments, Laney?
No, sir. That's all I have.
Okay.